All right, before watching this video, if you guys haven't watched last week's video, which was the best way to approach and win referral partners, please go back and watch that. And the reason why I say that is because I only know 2 brokers who have watched last week's video. And this week's video, so today's video that you're about to watch, is just an extension of last week's video. So if you don't watch last week's and get all the gold nuggets that James and Ash share, as well as my tips, you're really going to miss out, and today's video is not going to make a lot of sense. So before watching this video, go back and check the emails where I sent the link out, the best way to approach and win referral partners. The video before that was how to generate hundreds of leads, and all 3 videos actually are linked together. So it's about how to provide value to your referral partners, how to approach referral partners by providing value, how to build those relationships, how to generate referrals from them. Obviously, that first video was all about doing seminars and webinars. And what I would recommend also, if you guys are interested to learn more about how to do webinars and seminars with referral partners, register for our next 4 pillars to successful lead generation. We go over that. We're going to go over the 4 pillars. The last 2 sessions that we've run, we started half an hour late, so I wasn't able to share all the information. But at our next session, I'm going to go into more detail on those 4 pillars. Everyone will get a pack, so you'll have all the information and examples of things that you guys can do. So if you haven't watched the first video, how to generate hundreds of leads, go back and watch that first. I think there's about 12 of you who have watched that, so that's cool. Then go watch this one, the best way to approach and win referral partners, before watching today's video. And with that, let's cut to the clip with James and Ash.
Should I share commissions with referral partners? This could even extend into like commissions for referrals in general. Should you share commissions with your clients? Should you, for referrals? Some people even share commissions just to their clients for using them, like in the old refund home loans days. So this opens a big can of worms topic, and we answer these questions all the time from our members and listeners. We're going to be diving into it today. The first thing I'm going to say straight off the board is, if you're hoping for a black and white answer, not going to get one. It's not that simple. So there are various things to consider. There are various reasons when you would potentially share commissions. There are lots of reasons when you shouldn't. And if you are considering sharing commissions, it should be done in a very specific set of circumstances. So, Ash, where do you think we should kick this one off?
Well, the most important and interesting thing you said was, if you're expecting a black and white answer, you're not going to get one. And I think, there's so much nuance and context in this question. I mean, me personally, anyone who knows me knows that I'm on the record, a broken record around sharing commissions, particularly with referral partners, real estate agents and the like. And I'm pretty black and white about that. But only black and white from the sense of, if that is the determinant of whether they deal with you or not, or if that's what you lead with, right? So once again, I would say commission sharing can very easily reflect your mindset rather than a strategic tactic to build a relationship. I think that's where most sharing of commission emerges from. So I think part of the answer to this question is mindset, but a big part of it too is understanding, again, what is your strategy? Who are you dealing with? Is the sharing of commission going to be the primary, I should say, reason they deal with you? Interestingly enough, not long ago, James, I spoke with a broker, very successful broker in Australia, serves a very specific niche of high income earning professionals, average income, 800,000, average loan, 1.4 mil. He gives $1,000 back to their peak body organisation per loan, which you can probably afford to, I guess, if they're 1.4 million. But that's not the point. The point is That's not what he led with. That's a value add to support the relationship that already works. Right. And I think this is really where you get to the grey of like, is the sharing of commission strategically, tactically, financially logical, contemplate in that relationship? That's the work you got to do in advance. If you go in to a discussion and you get hit in the face with, now everyone else we've spoken to about sharing referrals with Ashley, they've promised us a share of commission. So how much will you share with us? Now, I would challenge all of our listeners, James, if they got hit with that question unexpectedly in a first meeting with a referral partner, what would your response be? Well, if you haven't got one, you've got a problem. So you really got to determine where you stand on this before you go to the meeting. Otherwise, you will get caught out. Right. Yeah. So, I've answered a very simple question with a fairly complicated answer. So maybe we need to dive into a few nuances of this to understand where the role of commission sharing, because I've done commission sharing with certain parties in my past, but the rule of thumb for me is never, ever, ever should it be the primary reason that they choose you. Never. That's the primary reason. Bloody hell, they're going to have a really big organization and huge upside potential from servicing their entire network. And that's what I'm after. If that's what I'm after and I've got a business that can support that size of a relationship and it's financially viable, yeah, perhaps I'd go in with a revenue sharing position from day one. But for everybody else, I'm like an insurance company, James. Deny, deny, deny.
And let's be fair, like most brokers aren't in that position to go into a massive organization and structure those deals. They're most likely going to be putting together deals with individual agents and accountants and small businesses. And I think to pick off something you said was around, I think brokers just default to this because it's an easy option to win the business. They don't feel confident in knowing what their true value is to themselves and the partner and their clients. So they think all the value they can really provide is by cutting them in on the deal and giving them a share. And unfortunately, so many brokers go out and do this that then a lot of the potential partners that are out there are now used to receiving a commission from a broker. Now, while I'm the same as you, Ash, in that I wouldn't default to sharing commissions, there is a place for it. I just want to pick up and dive a tiny bit deeper for those that are in business. When a broker goes in and leads with sharing commissions, and we've heard some ludicrous numbers in our Q&As, 30%, 50% of your commissions going to this partner just for the referral, right? No other work, which is ridiculous. A lot of brokers enter these agreements not understanding the business model of a mortgage business. So imagine you walk in, you're a solar operator, you've maybe got like a processor and you're just getting started. You want to build a business and you've gone and trusted 30 to 50% of your revenue to somebody else just for the leads. How do you expect to build a business now that you've given away half your revenue? Like, you're not going to be able to build a business and a process and a system and a team to actually deliver, which means you'll end up losing that partnership anyway because you can't deliver. So getting back to what you said at the start, Ash, it's you need to know the strategy and you need to know your value before you even open that door. Otherwise, they'll ask and they'll bring up the subject of, sharing of commissions. And if you don't have a good answer, it's the same as sitting next to a client and the first thing out of the client's mouth is, what's your best rate? Now, if you don't have a good reply to what's your best rate, and listeners, the reply is not to talk about the rate, of course, right? It's not to give them what they want, which is a cheap rate. You don't know what that is, you're dead in the water, and you'll probably be signing away 30 to 50% of your income because you'll become desperate and needy just to get the business. So it's a tricky one, Ash, tricky one.
I actually will take that another step further that you touched on. I would be using that knowledge as a tool or a weapon to win business without sharing commission. Exactly what you said. So if it was me listening to this episode and I was looking to form some relationships, and I felt this existential threat from commission sharing. And, well, others are doing it. How am I going to compete with others that are sharing revenue? Well, guess what? You go in there with the knowledge that, okay, I understand that other people are offering to share commission and maybe already doing it, but the statistics and the history of this industry shows unequivocally that other than at scale, multiple officers, multiple agents, but at an individual level, those relationships never last, right? And the reason they never last is because those brokers commit themselves to a business model that's unsustainable. And then as soon as they start to get business from other sources where they don't have to share commission, guess what happens to the relationship where they've got to share their commission? It dies on the vine. So we know this to be true. I've seen it happen over 40 years, right? So if I was a broker listening to this right now and I wanted one thing to use as a arrow in my quiver to shoot into the heart of the competition, it's the knowledge that commission sharing relationships with individual referrers always leads to the death of the relationship. So you position yourself as the antidote to that. If they say, "Nah, I'm not interested, I still want commission share," well, you're talking to the wrong person. But at least you know up front that they're not right for you.
Oh, we're going good now, Ash, because it made me think of another way of thinking about this, and it's that if your referral partner is chasing commission, I'm only working with someone that can give me X% of the thing. They've taken all the power. What do you listeners will sort of in your own mind think about this? What do you think that partner is going to do when they're focusing on getting 30% of your revenue? And the answer, of course, is, well, the second somebody comes along offering them more, they'll drop you like a sack of potatoes. Or number two, they're biding their time until they can hire a broker and do it in-house. Like, if you lead with commission and they lead with commission, you might get something in the short term, but you might be squeezed out in the long term by someone offering more or them trying to do it internally, even though they'll stuff it up internally. We know that they do. That's why it's imperative that we lead with value and a relationship that's client-centric and business going forward-centric first. And then, and we'll get into that in the next section, Ash, when it is appropriate to start sharing commissions, the right way to do it.
Yeah, exactly right, James. I think the summary of that is that, in my opinion, any referral partner, no matter who they are, it's their job to convince you that you could share commission. And they have to be very convincing. It's not your job to convince them that you're prepared to share commission. Your job is to be brilliant at what you do, be the subject matter expert, be the great problem solver that you are. If they think they should get your share of your commission, it's their job to give you a compelling case as to why you should do it. And even then, I'd say, right, after the first 10 referrals have been successfully approved and settled, then I'll come back to you with my response.
Exactly.
You proved to me that you can give up the goods. Like, to me, asking for someone's commission before they've even proven they can send you clients, it's ridiculous. Like, send me some clients first, and then I'll think about it. And I'll say no.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know if those clients will be good quality, if they'll even do it. Like, why are we even talking about this? It's like meeting somebody in a bar and getting married straight away. It's like, do you know anything about them? Blah, blah, blah. Like, sharing commission is the same as, as all those things. And most people just dive straight in without thinking about it. So let's go very quickly and spend a couple of minutes on the instances when it can be a strategic play. And just perhaps a few quick tips on those instances and what to think about. Obviously, we're not going to give details because that would be silly for us to provide advice in terms of numbers and hard and fast without knowing your situations and the deal. As with everything, of course, listeners and Ash, cookie cutter advice is usually bad advice. So high level, when should we consider and what to be thinking about when we do consider it?
Well, the starting point should always be it's up to you to offer. So it's a proactive strategy only. It should never be a reactive strategy. Okay, that's the starting point, right? So if you haven't approached an opportunity with a proposition around sharing commission with whatever parameters and pilot phase and measurements that you've come up with, if you haven't started at that point, there's no way that you should be able to be talked into sharing commission. So a lot of this comes back to preparation, right? What relationship are you looking to build? What's the financial implication? My honest opinion is sharing commissions with anybody is a joint venture. It's not a referral partnership. Right? I would just use different language for starters. A referral partner that wants a share of commission is a joint venture partner. Different discussion, right? So a referral partner has got a big zero next to referral commission sharing. It just doesn't exist, right? If you're a business, and I work with a lot of these people, we do, James, that are, we help establish, joint ventures and big picture relationships that do on occasion involve revenue share, but it's at a joint venture strategic level, right? Which is why it doesn't apply or very rarely applies to small brokers or startup brokers, right? It generally comes down the track when you've got a decent trail income, to give you some financial stability. You've got a team, you've got systems and processes. You've hopefully lifted yourself out of the role of being a key broker, and you're a bit more growth and strategy and rainmaking now, because those big relationships require someone on the bow of the ship, not down pulling the oars, right? So if you're stuck down in the bowels of your ship pulling on the oars all day, you're never going to maintain a high-level commission sharing relationship. You've got to be up on the bow of the ship. So they exist in lots of different forms. They can be big networks of offices. They could be a social cause. They could be the chap I was referring to early that already had the business but decided to contribute to their employee well-being project by contributing money from every loan into a fund that goes towards the betterment of the well-being and welfare of the clients. They work in a high-stress industry. They make good money, but they carry a lot of stress. So that's definitely the way I would separate them. Commission share, either do it as a joint venture or don't do it. And when I say joint venture, James, I don't mean always starting a new company and, you're going to have those shares and I'm going to have those shares. No, it's just starting with a mindset that if we're going to talk commission share, it needs to be driven by me and it needs to be strategic and long-term. And each party needs a period of time to prove to the other that it's viable before you walk over the line and consummate the relationship.
Exactly. I'm really glad you brought up the distinction there, because when we think about a referral fee, if all you're doing is sending me a client, okay, occasionally or even consistently, that's essentially what your marketing function would otherwise do. Now, depending on your quality of marketing, that could be just a flat fee or a very small amount of money, because if you are generating leads through marketing, you would know your cost. So why would you give a referral partner any more than just a finder's fee, essentially, that would equate to your marketing if all they're doing is sending you a lead? And I love the distinction with joint venture, because yes, when you start thinking about percentage sharing, it has to be in that two-way joint venture. We have integrated ourselves in some way so that there's going to be volume and scale. We're sending you business, you're sending us business, we're pushing each other forward and in the same direction together. That's the only time when you would consider giving away serious numbers to someone else, if they're going to be a strategic alliance partner that's going to help you very quickly scale your business. And it has to be done with, you've got to be really good with your numbers. You have to understand the mechanics, the numbers, how it's all going to work, how profitability works, how capacity works. And it's something that, very few brokers would be in a position to get right.
So I've shared this slide before in another video. Can't remember which one. with my favorite saying from my favorite motivational speaker and salesman of all time, Zig Ziglar. And that is, you can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. So it's really about providing value for clients, value to your referral partners, and something that James and Ash really spoke on, which I agree with. It's true. If your referral relationship is based on a percentage of commission, so first and foremost, you're doing business simply because of the amount of commission you're giving them. As soon as someone comes along offering more commission, they're gone. Or they're going to be making X amount of profit. They're going to see how much commission they're getting, and they're going to realize, you know what? I'll just hire our own in-house broker and keep all the upfront and trail. And that's what a lot of accounting firms and financial planning firms, and now I've noticed a lot of real estate agencies are doing as well. So the true focus needs to be on value and providing value. So how do you provide value? Well, in the last video, or actually the one about how to generate hundreds of leads, I spoke about doing joint educational seminars or webinars. Now everyone does webinars. It's so easy. We got the technology. Everyone can sit in their own home, have their camera turned off if they want. They don't have to ask a question. They can leave at the end of it as soon as it's done, whatever. So you're going to get a lot more people to them than seminars, and they're also a lot more cost effective. But doing joint education webinars to drive business to each other's businesses, right? So, you might be working with a referral partner, such as a financial planner, or maybe a real estate agent or a buyer's agent or something. You might say, look, I want to run these educational webinars, or I've been running these educational webinars, but I need a really good financial planner, or I need a good buyer's agent to come in and give some advice as well. Look, I do Facebook ads to promote the webinar. I send out my webinar invite to my database, et cetera, et cetera. So, it'd be great to help generate some business for you as well, Mr. and Mrs. Financial Planner or Buyer's Agent. Another thing that you can do by providing value with referral partners is say, look, I want a core group of other professionals who can help service my clients. I have a X amount of clients. So, for those of you who buy Joust leads or telemarketing leads or any other sort of leads, it's a really quick way to grow your database. You can easily grow your database to, 2, 3, 4, 500 people. And then you meet with your referral partners and you can say, look, I've got 300 clients on my database. I really need them to have a good financial planner to look after their needs. I need a good buyer's agent to look after their needs, a good accountant, blah, blah, blah. You get it. So what I'd like to do, I have a CRM marketing system. So once again, those of you who don't have a CRM marketing system, and apparently most of you don't, which is shocking because it's something, it's number 2 in our 4 pillars to successful lead generation. You can promote your referral partner to your client base. So you can say, look, give me a spiel, give me a niche, give me a whatever. If they have a YouTube channel or they do some videos or stuff like that, you can embed a video from your referral partner that goes out to your client base. So you can help promote your potential referral partner's business to your client base. Or better yet, let's say you don't have any clients to refer. You've got yourself. If you really want to do business with a particular referral partner, be it an accountant, financial planner, real estate agent, buyer's agent, builder, whatever, why don't you become a client first? Why don't you refer yourself and become a client to them? So some other ways, promote your value proposition. All right. So we're going to run a CVP workshop. Those who have done our CVP workshop, you should know what your client value proposition is by now. Promote that. Let your referral partners know what your CVP is, what you do better than every other broker, okay, and how it will benefit your referral partners, right? So you might be a self-managed super fund expert. Actually, I'm going to give you some examples in a minute, so I won't touch on that. So, you know, you could go to, well, an accountant, for example, and say that you specialize in self-managed super funds. And, you know, your accountant, then, you know, you can say, look, you got clients that have a decent amount in super, that are thinking about perhaps purchasing a property in their super fund. A lot of people want to become property investors but can't outside their fund, but they've got capital inside their fund. You know, the accountant can set up a self-managed super fund. You can do the finance for it, but the benefit to your accountant is, you know, they're not just doing a PAYG tax return anymore, or maybe they've got a self-employed client. You know, they're not just doing company financials anymore. They can charge them for a self-managed super fund. Now, if they're anything like my accountant, you know, they're charging $4 or $5 grand a year just for, you know, self-managed super fund auditing and tax returns. So that's more fees per client that the accountant can charge. So that's a benefit to the accountant. All right. So for a financial planner, maybe you specialize in debt recycling. Now, if you guys don't know what debt recycling is, go to our YouTube channel, First Choice Finance Group. You'll see the debt recycling video on there. It's got, I don't know, 7,000 views or something. That is debt recycling. That is something both Andrew and myself, when 20 years ago when we learned about broking, how we fell into the industry was through debt recycling. So you might, you know, say to your financial planner that you specialize in debt recycling and you need a financial planner, because you do need one if you're doing debt recycling, because they need financial advice. And also AMP, who's the only lender that does the master limit product, actually needs a financial planner to sign off as part of the loan application form anyway. Yeah, so you need them to provide financial investment advice. It also creates a more closer engagement with that financial planner, because the way the debt recycling works, funds go into, all income goes into the home loan account. They then draw that out through an investment account to then go and reinvest. So it's, you know, it's something that a financial planner can charge more for, or whatever. So once again, you're benefiting the financial planner. You're providing value to the financial planner. A real estate agent, you might say to the real estate agent, look, I specialize in purchases. So it could be investments. You know, I specialize in investment lending or first home buyers. You know, you might spruik your conversion rate. So even if you're a new broker and you've settled 2 loans, you've written 2 loans and you settled 2 loans, well, your conversion rate's 100%. What I would say is, look, I have over a 90% conversion rate, which is in the top 2% in the market right across Australia. So it puts you in that echelon. It also tells the real estate agent that you are good at settling loans, because no one gets paid on formal or lodgement or anything like that. So what you're saying is you're portraying your expertise and how good you are at getting deals settled. And at the end of the day, that's what real estate agents want. And just share, that's in, you know, over 90% conversion rate. That's in the top 2%, you know, across the industry. Let them know what your service guarantee is. So your service guarantee might be, I call everyone back within an hour. So if you can't get me, leave a message. I call everyone back within an hour, or it might be 2 hours, you know, and it might be you, might be the client, might be whatever, but I always call everybody back within a particular time period. Let them know what your process is, you know, so tell them that you have a process over the whole transaction, over the whole purchase. All right. So don't just say it's over the loan. Say it's over the whole purchase. So as soon as I speak to you, or as soon as I speak to your client on the phone, this is what my process is. This is my guarantee, all the way through to settlement. I deal with the solicitor at settlement to make sure it's booked in, to make sure funds are all sorted, blah, blah, blah. I monitor and engage in that. I let you know, I let the client know. And then post-settlement, the client might want to buy an investment property down the track. So we do annual reviews, we do property reports to see if they've got value. We then can work out whether they can afford to buy another property or something. Then we can send that client back to you. So talk about your whole process, your service guarantee, Let them know what that is. Be different to every other broker. Every other broker don't do that. They just, all right, loans. So go that extra mile. A buyer's agent. I had a great relationship with a buyer's agent. Wasn't my top referral partner, was pretty good. You might say to a buyer's agent that you specialize in investment lending, or you specialize in high income, white collar or professionals or medical, professions or whatever. And you're looking for a high quality buyer's agent to partner with. You might want to think about some content creation. So you might say to the buyer's agent, look, I've got a YouTube channel, or I want to start putting some content out on YouTube. I'd love it if you could provide some content as well on my YouTube channel. I do webinars once again, so it'd be great to do some joint webinars with you where you can share your expertise and how buyer's agents work and how that could benefit my clients, because I want to help send clients to you. I want to help refer clients to you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer's Agent. It might be print and other online stuff. So it might be some Facebook stuff. It might be, you're creating a Facebook group, private Facebook group for investors. And in that, you want to have, do some little videos or host events within that Facebook group, and have that buyer's agent present. So all of these things is about how you can provide value to your referral partner. And that should be the first approach. The second approach can be, and by the way, I've given commission away, with in the right, relationship, etc. It just can't start off with that. If that is what the base of the relationship is, it's not going to last. Another one is for builders. And one of my best referrals was Osdak Patios and Roofing. So you could go to them, say that you specialize in construction and finance solutions for renovations, and you do pre-approvals for quotes and all this sort of stuff, right? And that's what I used to do. I did a heck of a lot of pre-approvals. I would tell people, and in fact, I got a flyer at the 4 Pillars. If you want to see it, I'll bring the flyer along. I used to have a flyer for Osdak Patios and Roofing. When they would do a quote, they would provide my business card and a flyer to the client where we would offer them a pre-approval. If they needed finance to build the patio, to do the renovation, whatever, I would do a pre-approval. 9 times out of 10, they turn into deals. So it's just being creative, but also being there. And by the way, my approach to them was, what's your current conversion rates? You do 5 quotes, turn two of those quotes into actual clients. Look, I can provide you finance solutions. I can offer pre-approvals. I can give clients a whole range of different finance solutions to be able to do that renovation. I can give you a flyer, my business card, every quote you do, just attach it to the quote, and I can help increase your conversion rate. For every quote that you do, I can help increase that. And we did. They saw a material difference. So that's why it was in their interest to promote me as their finance. They ended up doing getting their own in-house finance thing, because I didn't want to offer commission at that point. Where my business was, I didn't want to offer that. So yeah, it's all about how you can provide value to your referral partner. And if you do that, let's say you've got an accountant or a financial planner, right? And you're doing joint seminars together. You've got a private Facebook group. You're doing some stuff together. You're promoting their business to your client base, and you're referring some clients to them. They're getting some clients, and they're getting a lot of clients from the joint webinars that you're doing. etc. Now they could think, I could earn more if I hire an in-house broker. However, that relationship I've got with Steve is going to end. No more joint webinars. He's not going to promote my business to his clients. I'm going to see referrals dry up. No, you know what? It's in my best interest not to bring an in-house broker on board. I'm going to continue the relationship with Steve because he's sending me business. We're doing joint things together. I'm sending him business. Happy days. So that's really where you need to focus on, is providing value. Focus on value, then education, and whether that's with your referral partners or your clients, that really is the name of the game. So anyway, hopefully over the last 3 videos, you guys have got something out of it. Doing some joint webinars, the power of that in generating a lot of leads. I can tell you some friends of mine who specialize in investment lending, that's what they do. They do seminars or webinars now. They generate all their business from webinars. Even our Success Broker coaching video series, there's a couple of guys who specialize in investment lending. Where do they get their leads from? They do webinars. And they have key referral partners in place that do these joint webinars. It works, folks. It works. How to approach and win referral partners, this is how you do it. All right. So anyway, hopefully over the last 3 videos, you got something out of it. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.